stinger.
Amazing, humongous.
That was an amazing, humongous stinger.
That was
Welcome to Wingman's Hangar, episode 82. I am Eric Wingman Peterson.
82.
82.
Rob, Designopotamus Irving here.
It's in liver years.
82.
My
yeah,
liver's
no
82
kidding.
years
Oh,
old.
My liver's older than that, I think.
So if you're new to the show, we kind of vacillate back and forth whenever the Viewmaster's in town. Viewmaster, you're in town.
I'm back.
Briefly.
Briefly back.
He's taking a pause between his Hollywood
I know, man.
engagements.
He's shooting all these movies and stuff, these features, which you'll come straight to a video machine near you.
They don't have those anymore.
I know.
Straight,
You're right.
straight to Redbox.
He's not on Netflix. He's on Bad Flicks. You just got to find it. It's a special kind of. No, anyway, just
It's
give
on
my,
the dark web.
Yeah, the dark web. This is a show about Descent, the making of Descent Underground.
It is.
Kind of give you guys an update on what we're doing each week, what's happening. We're getting closer and closer to, well, the final launch of the game. So, first, we want to thank our new backers. Take a look at that. Welcome. Hey, some familiar faces in there. Must have bought a copy for a friend. Thank you very much, guys. I see Peas and Pyro Jockey and stuff. That's kind of neat. And thanks to our new Undergrounders. Thank you guys very much. These are people that are helping us test the game. Jossman, Peach Fuzz, Storm Pruder, Thunderboy David. Thank you guys very much.
Thunderboy David.
Thunderboy David.
Thunderboy.
Thunderboy. Thunder. Truck Month. And there's so many more on Steam, which we don't get their names. So thank you guys very much.
He said moron.
I did say Moran. Yeah, we did that on Tuesday last week. So anyway, we got a week in review. What do we do this week? Well, Proving Grounds, we have a new build in Proving Grounds. You know what's in that, right?
We do. There's lots of stuff in there. Turrets.
Turrets are in
mostly
there.
about turrets.
You've adjusted them a little bit. You made them tougher. So
They are definitely
let us know if
dangerous.
we're in the pocket in the Proving Grounds. If we need to be tougher, weaker, whatever, let us know. The Goliath has a special manufacturing tool.
So I can make more turrets.
Yeah, so but it's
never
not
have
just
too many
turrets
turrets.
either. It makes other things. If you have a special, it does special power-ups.
Eventually, it will have more things.
Yes.
But
And the new cockpit has been done, dusted, and it's getting
so close.
hooked up. So that's pretty cool.
It's gonna have to do a big merge. We're throwing a Pixley into a giant.
We
puddle.
are. Let's throw a Pixley. There he is. Not only mention that, but we're also doing your baby, Corporate War.
Corporate War is finally coming to town.
Yep, and
It's pretty cool.
it's cool. Rather than just telling you guys what we're doing, let's just show you a little bit of it in Studio Snapshot.
This is more or less the final version of the new HUD. Fully done in 3D space. We've got all the nice meters. We've got the full cockpit geometry and the radar. The radar is rotating. Version of the HUD. So we've got radar where it's supposed to be. Still, this is a flat 2D projection of the HUD onto the screen. So if you run at a lower screen percentage, for instance, you'll want to run with the 2D HUD.
Always cool to see, to show people a little bit of what we're up to. Artists are kind of overseas, so that's kind of neat. We got also a production release coming this week. Probably by the time you see this, there'll be a new production release. So,
Yay.
But we're also working this week on the Sentinel Orb. Or with the what's it called? The Sentinel?
Sentinel and the Scrambler.
And the
Both of them.
Scrambler.
Yes. Sentinel orbs are the radar boosters, and Scramblers are
The what boosters?
Radar.
Radar!
Coming soon to a
Yep.
theater near you.
And Sindius is getting tougher. Rah,
He's
animation.
bossier.
He's bossier, right?
Yes.
And lots of rocks.
Rock-
We're
oh.
gonna do a little R&R.
Rocks and radar.
Rocks and radar.
All right. Yeah, the rocks are maybe a little overdone.
The frame rate rock killer.
Somebody rocked
Frame
the
rate-
house a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And well, it did bad things.
Yeah.
It was a test.
We think a nice flip book game is Needed in the first person.
Seconds
shooters,
per frame, baby.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't need 5,000 rocks.
Apparently not. Especially was it 5,000?
It was 5,000 and change.
77.
And it was a little chuggy.
A little chuggy. Yeah, unplayable. So let's take a look at this week's Steam review of the week. From Got Tyrion. I'm glad somebody finally got Tyrion.
GOT?
GOT, got Tyrion.
Yes, right. Got Tyrion?
Got Tyrion. Who's got Tyrion? Apparently this guy. I've never been a big fan of space-related games, but this one is hella fun. Lots of controls. Hella fun. Lots of controls to learn, but very smooth playing. I can't wait to see where this one goes. The graphics are phenomenal, and the maps are fun to maneuver around. I'm still learning this game as I write this review. All I can say is this game would be 10 million times better if I had a VR headset. Wow, thank you.
Darn straight.
Thank you, Game of Thrones Tyrion. After that, we can't call him Got Tyrion anymore. Thank you. You're this week's Steam review of the week. And you know what? Guess what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for Forum Feedback.
Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
Forum feedback.
Yeah, Keith, say it right.
Okay, we'll try that again. All right. Hey, forum feedback. Whoa. Hey, everybody.
I need a replacement MC.
I know.
Protest.
Dude, I know, man. I'm getting these
Take it up, Rob.
But
Go
he's
ahead.
making a positive contribution.
No negative contribution.
That's a positive of a forum
Negative
feedback.
contribution.
It's time for forum feedback.
Oh, now Morlan's getting you started.
Yeah, no, he's just pissing off everybody. Why don't you tell everybody the fans suck or something now?
Oh,
Make everybody upset.
hold the phone.
No, I love our fans. I love our fans.
I know we all do, but you're making Mike and me upset.
Oh.
He's just trying to get his own fan club.
Oh no, he did not go there.
Ooh, yeah, like instead of bar citizens, we could have Drunkelzas.
Drunklesaw. I love it.
How long have you been saving that one for?
I ain't even mad. I ain't even mad.
All right. Let's get into some questions here. Our first question from Chris Azu. I think that's how you say that.
Oh, Eric needs to say that one.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, you want to read it?
Chris Azu.
That's the same
Chrisuzu.
thing I said.
Chris Azu.
But he did this. You did that.
I don't even know what that is. Chrissy Zoo.
Chrissy Zoo, I think is what it is.
All right, so Chrissy Zoo is asking how many multiplayer maps and survival maps are planned for the release?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think, Rob, do you know the answer to these?
No, because that number changes constantly, depending on when we
It
add.
does
new-
change.
It's mostly going to be generated by the community at this point. Further maps that we add for arenas, at least.
Right.
So this is kind of the number for what we know of for arenas, I guess. I don't know if we'll do another survival map at some point, but
Yeah, we'll definitely do more survival maps, but at the same time, we're going to be doing we're doing single player right now, and so the maps that work in single player that could also possibly be repurposed for these other things will be used that way. So I know we've got 13 maps we're working on right now for single player. So
And some of those are like corporate war maps, so you
Yeah.
could use them definitely for corporate war.
yeah, so I wish we could say this was all completely planned out, but we have to see how the maps play first, and then we'll answer that. So
It's a non-zero amount.
Is that
Well, is
Kaji?
that
Kaji
Is that
just
Kaji?
showed up.
he's
Oh, he
alive.
can't make Scrum, but he can make the thing we're filming.
He likes to be on TV.
Sorry,
Hookah pipe.
Math
Just got
equals
home.
True.
no, I think we already got a whole bunch of maps. To be honest,
Too.
Yeah, we do.
more than other multiplayer games.
Yes.
And there's still some in the pipe from the fans.
There's a lot more in the pipe to be made
That's
too,
true.
right?
Yeah.
That's true.
There are a ton of community maps out there.
Mhm.
Descent Underground featuring more maps than Star Wars Battlefront. Oh.
Burn.
Wow, we're just being mean to everybody today.
I know, man.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on.
Gloves are off.
All righty, next question from Fluffball, one of our undergrounders. How do you choose a release date for a game? Is it just when it's finished, or do you actually have to like carefully plot a date around things to make an impact?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, let's just take our game for instance. When we first started this process, right? We had a date in mind, which was March of this year, which we didn't hit, obviously. There were a couple factors to that. We decided to go to Steam Early Access, and once we go to Early Access, we now have a live product, which we've also got to focus some time making sure that it is stable. So that pushes things out a bit. Plus, we have a very small team. We're hoping for a larger team when we did the Kickstarter. We're hoping for, well, frankly, more money than we got. So we had to manage the scope in that regard and still get the game out. So, that means that 6 to 8 people or 10 people do things that maybe you do with 15 to 16, 17. It just takes more time. So as far as planning for the release date, it's usually when it's finished. I mean, we can't go head to head with Call of Duty or, even Star Citizen or any of those things. We've got to be a little smarter about when we're going to come out and then ramp up with the demo and some targeted marketing. So you start with the finish. We're looking to be finished with this sometimes March of next year, and then we'll look at how we release it, with the best release plan. And we're still talking to publishers too, so that can all change based on that. So an indie team, usually it's when it's finished, but we want to kind of be a little more than that. So I guess that kind of answers the question.
And basically,
So there's no like you do this A, B, C, D. As an indie team, you kind of have to be malleable and ready to adjust to changing circumstances. Like, does a big game come out during your week that you're planning to go out? Like, we had to do that with our Kickstarter, for instance. Crowfall, friends of ours here in Austin, were doing their Kickstarter, and we wanted to give them some runway, so we didn't compete with them. So we moved our Kickstarter back 2 weeks so Crowfall could do theirs, and then we did ours, and we could have some symbiosis between the two of us, and that worked out well for us. So it's just you have to be malleable and ready to, pivot if you have to.
You also have to set the target dates. So it's not like just you're coding until it's ready. We do set target dates that change, right?
Well, the target dates are actually based upon how long things are going to take, estimates of how long things are going to take.
Exactly.
and anyone who's worked in software knows that estimates are terrible and bad, and they never work.
Wags.
Always exactly right the first time.
Wags, exactly. Wild ass guesses. That's exactly what they are.
That's what they're called.
All right. Thanks for that, guys. And so our next question from Raptor, one of our undergrounders. Is it possible to make bots get knocked around when you shoot them?
Yeah, I think I was talking to him about this week. I think it's a really cool idea, especially with bots. Although knocking around has some effects multiplayer wise, right, Pixley?
Yeah, basically the answer to this question is yes, but there are certain things that need to be taken into account. Because we do a lot of prediction on your client to keep things seeming smoother, so that way you don't have to like pull the trigger or wait like 30, 60, 120 milliseconds later for the bolt to actually come out. Sometimes bolts don't necessarily land where you see them land. Sometimes things aren't necessarily lined up. So if a bolt hits a bot on the server but not on the client, or on the client but not on the server, you end up with the bot getting knocked back on one and not the other. Then the bot's position gets desynced, and desynced position for player ships is really, really bad. We do not want that. So basically what we would want to do is, if we have a knockback effect, it would basically just be an effect where the position of the ship is unchanged, but like the visual mesh of the ship, because those two aren't exactly the same thing. The visual mesh is a component of the ship object as a whole. We can have that rattle around and shift a bit, but obviously shifting it back into its regular position afterwards. that would be a lot more manageable because then the position of the ship object still hasn't changed.
So this
it's
is
a matter of programming stuff.
And we could do that on single player more easily than multiplayer too. It would just single player would just be a visual anyway. So it's all on your machine. So it's something we'd like to do as far as polish elements go. So yeah, I think you look for something like that. I mean, it's kind of cool when you get hit. At least do a camera shake when you're getting hit or something like that. So, although that also has ramifications with VR folks. So it's but at the same time, that can be something you can toggle on or off. So it's one of those things, you know. There's challenges and decisions that are made every day based on the whole rather than the few. You know, not an easy answer. It's cool though.
All right, and our next question from DEFCON X, one of our undergrounders. Are there any 3D art concepts that you'd like help with? I can use GIMP and Blender, maybe do some more build-a-something challenges. Maybe like the Build-A-Bot we did a while back, which Lou here was instrumental in.
Yeah, Lou, why don't you talk about your journey here? You'll have to turn your mic on, though, Captain Silent.
Yeah, well, that sounds great idea, actually. I mean, the Build-A-Bot challenge was a great thing for me personally.
Yeah,
to get
you loved it.
Yeah.
And so did Insidious.
Yeah. And yeah, but I mean, we have a lot of stuff in the pipeline, anyways. So that could be a nice idea.
I think it's a good idea. If you know, if DEFCON, if he wants to contribute, I mean, we've built this whole company on, you know, community and mod related stuff. We'd like to have more of that. So maybe we can have a think on that, Keith, and how we could possibly engage DEFCON a little bit in that regard and get him to do some stuff for the game. Sounds like fun to me.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
I probably need to write up a little outlines. What we are looking for, and
for sure, style guide,
and especially when it comes to poly count, for example, that maybe some models, if you're an experienced modeler in the game industry, you know. But when I started back in the days, I was like, come on, give me that 100,000 piece rock, and then I wondered, oh yeah, I probably should lower the poly count.
What, were you on Star Citizen?
Some sort of this, yes.
So the so anyway, yeah, we'll need to come up with some written material for specifics, not just. We'd probably also want to get the GDD information, at least some of it, right, Rob?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we need little briefs on anything we're building, which includes poly counts, dimensions, that kind of stuff. But I mean, like, we still don't have a loader bot or a miner bot yet. Those would be.
That's true. We need several of those.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. The other thing is, like, I kind of to expand upon what Kaji said, there are certain style guides that need to be taken into account. Things that like are pursuant to the way Unreal expects things to be done regarding materials and such. You know, obviously later down the line, but that's important too.
Materials and like skeletal mesh animations. I seem to remember something in our studio snapshot a while back with a giant gun with a tiny bot on it that had to do with.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Hey, you know, what we could really use at this point, if there are any VFX people out there who want to really delve into making some really cool VFX, because ours are kind of, we haven't really had a chance to really up-res ours or really take that to the next level, and that is something we'll be doing next year. But we could use those right now. Better effects.
Could we use someone
some
to
voice
pretty up some like?
No, the voice acting is fine.
Would it be possible to maybe use some of the community to pretty up some of the white box maps we have? You know, do an environment pass on them?
Well, we've got some. I think we're working on a map kit right now with some greebles and stuff that we're going to be putting out there. We've got to clean the map directories up too at some point. Yeah. So, and then release a new version of the map pack.
It's some more days, but once this map pack is done, of course, we may get this to the people, and they probably can beautify some blueprints, for example, if they want to.
Be nice for them to be able to get the paint decals on the walls and stuff, but
the trick is there are some tools, like for instance, the thing for putting decals on the walls is a piece of software that we license, so we actually can't redistribute that. And the way that our environment directories are set up is a lot of stuff got put in a lot of different places very quickly. We need to sort of clean that up and pull out things that we can't redistribute, so that we can let people make prettier maps. Yeah.
So that we can distribute our new map pack. Yeah. But make more finished maps. See, what we're talking about here, folks, is not just making the gray box, but also taking it further to where you're actually making maps that are much closer to what they would look like in the game, with and having pipes and stuff hanging out, and you could reactors and whatever else we put in there. You could place those and have fun with that, like we do. But we have to be able to get that in a nice little bow and then get that to you. And we've got to still solve the problem of how can we let them fly in those maps without giving all of our blueprints away. So that's still a hurdle too. I mean, we could probably just release just the flight, but anyway, things to do.
All right. So our next question from Vove. Can there be AI bots in the Anarchy games?
We talked about that. I mean,
yeah, it's something we've just discussed a long time, and I actually answered this a bit on the forums earlier this week. Basically, there are two major things that need to happen before we can accomplish this. First, the AI needs to learn to play game modes. Like, even for just Anarchy, there's a difference between the way the bots, play, the way they fight, and the way players do. Like, bots don't run around at full speed searching people down. They don't strategically do X, Y, and Z. Like, there are certain things they don't do that makes them strictly inferior to players in Anarchy. And then, for other modes, we'd have to teach them how to play those modes, like, go to the capture zones in Conquest, go get and return the miner in Minor Mayhem, or defend people in those situations if they're playing like a Panzer or whatever. So that's one piece of it. The other piece of it is that Unreal, out of the box, assumes that AI players and human players are different. Like, they behave in very different ways. It makes a lot of assumptions that can be adjusted, but those adjustments need to be made. There is game-specific code that needs to be written, so that way, because the way it works right now is each AI ship that spawns currently has its own controller, and that controller goes away when that ship explodes. So a new ship comes in, it gets a new controller is created with it, and then so that just basically cycles as they die. But for to emulate a player, it would need to persist, and the bot would need to make decisions about what ship to spawn. And then they would also need a player state where their stats are tracked just like players. And then there's the issue of building distinct identities and kind of building that sort of thing into the API, so that way that's still all tracked. And the API understands when bots are the ones playing, so that way when you come back out to the lobby, it's not like, oh, there were only actually 3 people in this match. So there's a lot of stuff involved in that sort of thing. That it's not necessarily difficult. It's not that it's necessarily difficult. It's just things that need to be done that take time.
Mm-hmm. And AI improvements, which
yes,
there are lots of different pieces we need for AI, and right now single player stuff is more of a focus. But
Alrighty. Oh, hey, I got a second question from DEFCON X.
No, sorry, no.
It says, I heard rumors of a new office. Is there anything the devs could use as a housemaking gift, or maybe housewarming gift? I don't know. It says housemaking in the question.
The singing salmon.
No, I'm Absolutely not.
Singing bass.
The Billy
costume.
Bass thing.
A firearm to shoot the Billy Bass thing.
There we go.
Guys, it's Texas. We have firearms coming out of our ears.
Okay, a hammer or something to bash the.
There are more firearms than there are people here in Texas. So yeah, we housewarming. We were looking at offices right now. We're taking some pictures. We could probably show some of those during the show coming up. I think we took some, and it's this little compound we're looking at, but we haven't officially signed anything or moved in. So we can certainly show that.
We're starting a cult.
Okay, compound.
Yeah, the
compound.
cult
Just
is
want to say
sand.
we're not talking barbed wire and sandbags here. We're just.
Oh man, that's what we need: barbed wire and sandbags.
I took pictures of a house compound, but I didn't show you the real compound. So housewarming gift. I think the standard's been set as an Xbox One, right? It's an
No. He's MVP this week, right?
Rob, don't you need a PlayStation 4?
No. No, I do not.
I appreciate the offer, DEF CON. Let's wait till we get the office, then we can see.
Then we'll talk.
Then we'll talk. Yeah. But that's very, very kind of you to even consider it.
Yeah, thank you.
Or you can just send it to my house. Whatever.
Does it come in fifths?
No, I've kind of slowed down on the bourbon train here. We need to.
Send him a tread climber.
Oh.
Not funny. I don't want. There's no room here for that.
All right.
Next to the recumbent bike that's in the garage under the covers.
That's where you hang all your clothes.
Yeah, we should bring those in. Like set up some space for an exercise area. I'll bring in the rowing machine. You can bring in the recumbent bike. We'll have a little exercise area.
We'll put it out in the rain. That way it can rust like it. Used to.
Well, if I do bring in my rower, I'm not sure what I'm going to do for a laundry hanger anymore.
Okay, so definitely
Nothing
the
right now.
answer is
Shit's
nothing
very
right now, but definitely not exercise equipment.
Yeah,
So close.
Okay. All right, I got a question here from Fluffball, an undergrounder. Wait a minute, did he ask it? Yeah, he asked a
think he
question
did.
too. These guys are just like full of questions this week. Okay. All right. Is Wingman enjoying the new brand of attractive attacking football that Jose Mourinho has brought to Manchester United?
Mourinho!
Anfield sends its regards.
That's accurate. You just accurately called Mourinho.
There's no Enye there. How the heck am I supposed to know?
No.
Does anyone even know what he's talking about?
Yes,
I
I
have
do.
no idea. I think it's soccer.
It is. It is football.
No,
It's
I understand the word football. It's not a concept I.
yeah, Mourinho
It's
is
on football,
Mourinho,
not fun football.
Mourinho is the Manchester United manager. He brought in this year, and he's had like zero positive effect on the team. And then Anfield is where Liverpool is their home stadium, and they're kind of the rivals, and they're actually top of the table right now. So
Yeah. Phil's celebrating the fact that the
yeah,
Liverpool is
Phil's
winning.
very happy right now. But
It sounds like
Wingman is
Fluffball
not.
and Phil would get along.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the answer is 1.7 Robs, by the way. To the
Still 1.5 Robs. Haven't gained 0.3 Robs in a week.
Maybe Rob's lost part of a Pixley.
There we go.
Oh, maybe.
That math gets complicated fast.
Yeah, Rob's 1.3 pixels at least.
I just don't want to think about Pixley being a part of Rob. Or
Yeah. Now that you put it that way, I don't want to think about it either.
You guys just need to hug it out. Just hug it out.
So I'm the smallest unit of measurement on the team then.
Yes.
Is that what we're
Yeah.
saying?
Well, hey, did you guys hear about the unit of measurement up at MIT where they measured, I forget the guy's name, but they measured a bridge in this guy. And they actually had
Like
him
how many
go.
guys would?
It's this one dude, and they had him go like end to end across the bridge. And it's now actually, his name is actually a unit of measurement used by some of the clubs at MIT.
This is like the English way system in the first place. I mean, it's all made up based on arbitrary people.
Yeah, King Louis's armpit or something.
Didn't they do like? Isn't that kind of like Noah used the
The
measurements
cubits,
from the
yeah.
cubits,
the
yeah.
cubit was actually used measure, so
Yeah, but it was based on
that's
a
from year to
person's
year.
arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess
All
back
right.
then arms were all the same length.
Standardized.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
We
thinking.
need some standardized arms.
It was really terrible for tall people.
That's what
Let's just, let's just say the tolerances were kind of wide.
And tiny hands.
Yeah, DEF CON could just send us a basket of arms.
They go in
Let's
your
not say that,
office.
because
I
I
don't
know
think
some
the-
people who would.
I don't think the U.S.
Mannequin.
Postal Service would appreciate that.
You can
Mannequin
send Eric a
arms,
bag of poo on fire.
You know, one time when I was just getting out of college, I was trying to get a job in broadcasting, and I literally sent a mannequin's right hand with my demo tape to the radio station and said I would give my right hand for a job here. Come on, are you rolling? What are you doing over there,
Guess
Kaji?
what job Eric didn't get?
No, I didn't get that job.
Wait a minute.
I'm
What are
reminded
you
of-
doing there,
I'm
Kaji?
reminded of something
What's
wonderful.
going on there?
Kaji, what are you rolling right there?
Busted.
You know we're going to be drug testing, right, Kaji? It doesn't mean you test them.
What? No. Oh, no. That's just regular cigarettes.
I'm just trying to figure out how he's going to do the drug testing. Is he just going to mail us a thing of urine or something?
Yeah, he's going to mail us the hookah.
Another thing we can't send in the mail. Here we go.
Long papers.
That's upside down. We can't read that.
All right.
Anyway,
We
probably.
got one more before we go completely off the rails.
Longest
Clearly, we
word.
all need more coffee.
Yeah.
Or something.
Or something. We got one last question from Justin Time at Undergrounder. Is it possible to get Descent Underground on GOG?
Ooh, this sounds like an elfin question.
Okay, well, the answer is it will be. And there are basically 5 small things or 5 various things that need to happen for it to be on GOG. One, you need to get GOG to want you to be there. We've already done that. We've had communications with GOG for a while now. 2, we need to get authentication working so that when you connect up in GOG and play a multiplayer game with, say, someone who's playing off of our site or off of Steam, that all of the communication works together, that we know you have the game, that we know they have the game, and that you can talk. That has been finished this week. We need to be able to package and send the game to GOG when we update. Portions of that are done, and we could do it manually right now, but we're working on integrating it into our normal build system. So every time we push out a new production build, it gets up to GOG, like we do with Steam, like we do with our own site. Then there's a store piece that GOG is working on, because GOG has a lot of control over the graphics and the text that's on their store. We're still waiting on GOG to get us that. So until that happens, no one's going to be able to get it on Steam because there isn't a store page
Or GOG.
Exactly. So they're working on that. So that's a piece that hopefully will be done very soon. And the last piece is we need to set up, like with Steam currently, you could go to a page on our site if you've pledged and say, I want a Steam key. We need to set something like that up. And that's something that we're talking about, and we're working around stuff. We'll probably be on GOG before that piece happens, but we haven't forgotten about that piece. Once all those things are done, yeah, and like I said, there have been pieces of that have happened just this week, and we've confirmed them, and we're getting very close. When we, this soon is a real soon, not a soon trademark.
Yeah. And this is
What the heck? You just answered a question directly? We don't do that around here. Come on,
man. And did you see?
We almost made it through the entire
Elfin
one.
was prepared for this question because he was reading off something. Because he had the 5 things, and he was doing this down counting. At the end, he looked like one of those foo-foo tea drinkers.
No,
Dr. Evil.
See, knowing that there were 5 things, Eric, had nothing to do with reading and everything to do with I actually have. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But no, yeah, it's very, very, very soon.
Yep.
The one thing I will say is when you do get it on GOG, I very much encourage you to get it through their GOG Galaxy client, because the way the authentication works with GOG, if you just download it from their site, which they allow you to do, which Steam doesn't, if you just download it from the site, the only thing you'll be able to do is single player. If you buy it from GOG, you have to launch it through GOG Galaxy, or there's no user authentication for the multiplayer. It's just an oddity because they've got both the download from the website and the GOG Galaxy piece, and the download from the website doesn't have any kind of authentication infrastructure or entitlement infrastructure. Just also to be clear, we're talking Windows right now. We're working on getting the Mac stuff working, and we're waiting on GOG to release GOG Galaxy for Linux, which I know they're working on for the Linux piece.
Right.
As always, it's our intention to get it on all the platforms. It's just we've got to get Windows first because that's the 90%, and then more like 95%, and then the Macs right now they've got the SDK, so we're hoping it's going to be relatively easy. And then Linux, we just got to wait on them. We can't push that forward.
Right, and there are options for people. They can still play through Steam, or they can go through our website and play on Linux. So it's not like anybody's blocked from this.
Exactly.
All righty. Well, thank you, folks. Thanks everybody for your questions. Please send them on the forums, and thanks to the team for answering everything.
Wake up, people! There's more show coming.
Yeah, and back to you, Wingman and Rob.
Well, that's kind of the new forum feedback
Format.
Forum feedback format. 3 Fs, the triple Fs. It's like a triple indie. People seem to like that, so we're going to leave that. Let us know by going to our forums and posting what your thoughts are and questions. We need new questions each week, so there's something you want to know. It can be whatever you want it to be.
We're not picky.
We're not. Well, there are some
As you
things.
can see, we're not very picky.
The 1.5 Rob's question was a bit much for me, but
You can ask that every week.
yeah,
It's okay.
No, don't. So go and participate, get in our forums, put your questions up there. Let us know what you're thinking. When our map tool is going to be there, when or whatever. Just let us know, and we'll answer those for you live.
1.6 Robs.
Oh, 1.5 Robs. Thank you. It's now time for this week's most valuable post.
Take it away, Keith.
Welcome to Most Valuable Post, where we recognize a member of our community who's made a positive contribution to Descent Underground. This week, we honor somebody who had a really interesting suggestion for, well, let's call it disincentivizing blowing yourself up in Descent Underground. So congratulations, Vaniac. You made this week's Most Valuable Post.
Cool. Thank you, Vaniac. Well done for the MVP. And, well, how did we get here in the universe? A little more history for you.
Fleeing as rising seawaters and tropical monsoons drowned major urban centers, the Anthropocene deluge, as it is now known, lingered long after the fossil energy sources that fueled it. By 2075, as scientists declared the climate calamity a new normal, exhausted armies and a generation born as refugees simply stopped where they stood. Borders shifted by default as much as by design. The world's surviving governments cast about for plans to rebuild and, perhaps in the process, to repair the environmental collapse of the past half-century. In March of 2076, in a small town underneath today's Washington Arco, a strange, gaunt man rose to answer a local politician's question. Dr. Samuel Blake was a shy, almost demure man, but his simple proposition changed the world.
Mr. President, I propose that we use plastics. The excess biomass now overtaking our cities can be converted into synthetic petroleum, not for fuel, but for feedstock to make plastics. Plastics for homes, to carry safe water, for clothing, and all of it sequestering carbon from our atmosphere at a brisk pace. By turning this curse into plastics, we can leave for our children a better world than we inherited.
His idea quickly gained traction worldwide. Vast industrial complexes sprang up, seemingly overnight, near jungles and algae-choked waterways. Makeshift refugee camps became villages, then entire cities built of durable, carbon-hungry plastic. The year before Blake's impromptu speech, atmospheric carbon peaked at just over 1,250 parts per million. In 2092 alone, the world made more than 1.2 trillion tons of plastic. By 2100, atmospheric carbon had decreased by 20%. In another 50 years, levels were expected to reach pre-industrial targets. To many at the time, it seemed that Blake's bold attempt at geoengineering would rebalance Earth's climate for the better. However, in early 2123, a small fly-by-night asteroid towing company made a slight miscalculation with global consequences. Later that year, asteroid 4660 Nereus slammed into the cooling Earth in western Brazil. Within weeks, smoke and debris circled the planet. Sunlight dimmed, and snow fell in regions that had recently begun planting bananas and citrus. Blake's audacious gambit to save the world had laid the groundwork for another great climate shift.
I personally love those things. It's kind of setting up the universe and how we got here, and I'm just having a little fun with that. If you haven't seen the first one, you should check that out too. So, sort of in the Ken Burns documentary style thing. I really think that's cool. Keith and Mike have done those things. So.
Lore.
And speaking of, well, this doesn't really segue well, but speaking of marketing moments.
Speaking of talking about Lindsay,
yeah,
which we weren't doing.
She's not history, but she is part of this week's show. So let's take a look at Lindsay and what she has to say in the marketing moment.
Hey Dissenters, Lindsay Ferris Martin here, also known as Captain Glitter Sparkle Pants. Happy early Thanksgiving. I know what we're most thankful for this Thanksgiving, and that's for fans like you. We couldn't be where we are without you guys today, so thank you for making everything possible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if we can ask you a favor, share the love. Share the love with your friends and family members, and by sharing the love, I mean share Descent Underground. Don't keep them in the dark. Let them in on your little secret and all that is wonderful about Descent Underground. So we continue to grow and grow stronger and stronger, especially with fans like you. And all the feedback that you guys have given us has been invaluable. So we are really and truly thankful for you guys this Thanksgiving. Hey, if you could help a fellow dissenter out, I know some of us on Thanksgiving just want some time away from the crazy aunts and uncles and grandparents and whatever else, and we want to sneak away and find some time of our own and maybe to play a little Descent Underground. If you can think of some funny excuses or legit excuses as to sneak away, get away from the family for just a few hours so that our fellow dissenters can, I don't know, play a few rounds, share those excuses with us. I want to hear them. I want to see them. So post in the video or in the comment section below this video or tweet us, whatever you want to do, but share those excuses. We want to hear what you have to say, and most importantly, we want to help our fellow dissenters out. We hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Thanks for all the support that you guys have given us, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Happy holidays.
Thanks, Lindsay. Love seeing that stuff. She's been a really good addition to the team.
Little youth.
Yeah, yeah. If you find that you enjoy making videos of Descent Underground, or you wanna participate, send it in to us. We'll feature you on the show. We'll bring you about. Streamers and YouTubers that are showing our game, let us know you're doing it. We'll highlight what you're doing. We'll put you on the webpage. We'll talk about you on the show here. They're agents of the underground.
Agents of the underground.
Whoa! They can't see us.
Wait.
Hey, come on.
Okay, there's a lot of them.
A lot of them. This is really cool.
Whole lot.
They're streaming. So go support them. Let them know that the more people that know about our game, the more better.
More
better. So just help us out. Tell people about it. Get people in the minds. Let's play. Let's kill each other. I know, right? Coming up this week in Descent Undergrounds. Well, production release. By the time you watch this video, there'll be a new release in production.
Please.
Yeah. Well, we should. Yeah. It's like
it's on its way. It's
way.
imminent.
Well, it's already a proving grounds. It's already been proven, so we're gonna put it out there. Bye Halloween decorations.
Oh,
I know, no more Ghost in the Machine, Typhoon, and
the
Predators.
Crazy Typhoon.
I really like that. It's so cool. So we may release that as a skin pack later, but we'll see.
Probably a good idea.
Turrets are coming.
They are. Well, we got a lot of stuff coming to Proving Grounds.
Turrets are fun. Keith is like the secret turret hider. He hides them. Dunkelza hides them in great locations.
It's good to have them sitting in your base when you're playing Corp War.
And the new tool for making more turrets is going to be with Goliath. So the Goliath gets a little bit more stuff to do. And again, we're trying to create some things where you need a couple ships together to where they work together and create team play. So you can do a lot of it yourself, or you can...
You don't win Corp War if you don't have somebody hauling and somebody mining, because the Goliaths are flying around going, feed me!
Yeah, and they have a lot of
they get a lot of room. But
All right. Thanks to our Underground members, and thank you guys to our backers for helping us be to this point on this epic adventure. Sorry you have to watch this show. You know, it is what it is.
They don't have to.
Well, they're
I mean,
nailed down to the chair.
but-
They're tied in right now.
We probably keep their eyes pried open.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We're going to be
Orange.
playing. Yeah, we're going to be playing the game with you guys right after this. So hang around. Let us know what you want to play. Let's play some Minor Mayhem. Let's play some Survival. Let's play whatever you guys want to play. We'll get in there and play with you because it's important, I think, as developers to play your own game, right?
Yes.
Submit your forum feedback questions. We need your help putting good forum feedback questions, and so not the ones about weight. Subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, anywhere we are, and Snapchat. I think Keith is the only one who's Snapchatting, so you know he's like
I don't even know
he's like
how
in
to
his
Snapchat.
teens, so he's Snapchatting. Yeah, Keith's got a Snapchat thing going on. So that's kind of the show this week. We'll see you in about 2 seconds for some playing with the devs. So where are we going to see him? Other than in 2 seconds?
In 2 seconds.
In 2 seconds. Underground.